Okay, there we go. With this new equipment I have now, I just started a show or podcast, and I forgot to turn the new microphone on. It hit me as soon as we got started. Okay, so let's try this again, if we can here. Uh, Welcome to the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex live and direct. Timeout Overtime on the Timeout Overtime YouTube channel. I'm Rick Arsenal. If you haven't done so yet, please get down there in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button, smash it. Uh, a lot that transpired over the weekend. We'll get to the Lions last. Most depressing story of all, I suppose. First things first, I thought we'd get our sponsors out of the way. I am so proud and happy to be able to welcome the Finish Line Family Restaurant to our family sponsors on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. More than 40 years, a staple in our community. Directly across the street from Arrow Swift Printing. Don't forget those new expanded hours, Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Award-winning breakfast all day, great family atmosphere, great fast-friendly service. You'll always finish first when you dine at the Finish Line. I can promise you that. We're also brought to you in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. You know, Chevy's Red Tank Sale event is going on right now at Frank Beck Chevrolet. You get 0% financing on the 2026 Equinox, Trailblazer, and 2026 Light Duty Silverado pickup trucks. Plus, you don't make your first down payment for 90 days. You want more? About bonus cash. Bex has up to $3,000 available to qualified buyers on the 2026 Silverado Light Duty. As always, see the dealer for complete details. Offers good through January 2nd. And of course, Merry Christmas from all the gang at Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville and on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. As always, get in there and experience the Frank Beck Chevrolet difference. Chevrolet together, let's drive. Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan, and Frank Beck Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet selling dealer in our immediate tri-state area. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance in Jonesville on the corner of M99 and US 12. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. That's barrettins.com. As for what transpired over the weekend, kudos to the Red Wings, okay? In a 24-hour period, they beat a very good Washington Capitol team in D.C. on Saturday, and 24 hours later back here at Little Caesars. Thrilling end to the game yesterday as Mo Sider scored the winning goal in overtime. Wings got 2 more points out of that. They lead the Atlantic Division right now with 45 points. There is only one team in the East, the entire Eastern Conference, which has 16 teams, that has a record better than theirs, and that is the Carolina Hurricane, who they play later on this week. Are you convinced yet? Are they a playoff team? I'm still a little bit apprehensive and skeptical. I guess you could say as a measuring stick, they could use these 2 games coming up this week against Carolina and Dallas to see exactly where they're at right now. They play the Stars here, and then later this week they go down south to play the Hurricane. 2 very good teams. The Capitals are a good team. Maybe, what's been the difference in the Red Wings in this last couple of weeks? It's been the goaltending. Gibson has been playing very well. I think he's on some kind of a 6 or 7 game win streak right now. The goaltending has been good. Defense has been good. Capitals are a good team. I'm rather shocked that they swept them over the weekend. They beat them, 5-2 Saturday and then 3-2 yesterday. Maybe Steve Yzerman is finally seeing the fruits of his labor. We'll see. We'll find out. There's an awful long way to go. And remember, too, because of the Winter Olympics, the NHL will be on a 2-week hiatus. And also because of that, coming up in February, the Red Wings will not have a home game at Little Caesars the entire month of February. Keep that in mind. Pistons begin a 5-game Western road swing in the next 8 days between now and December 30th. 5 games out west starts tonight with a 10 o'clock tip-off. So those of you who are on Christmas break or vacation will be able to stay up late and watch these games, I suppose. Portland tonight. From there, they move on to Sacramento, Salt Lake City, and 2 games in LA against the Clippers and Lakers. They play the Lakers on the 30th, the final leg of this 5-game, 8-day trip. You got to wonder when they get to the Lakers on the 30th, how much gas is going to be left in the tank. The Lakers are the only decent team they're facing in these 5 games. I can assure you, Portland and Sacramento and Salt Lake and the Clippers are going to be favored to win each one of those games. Lakers, I'm not sure. It's just too bad they couldn't be playing the Lakers tonight. Get them out of the way, and then my fear is when they get to LA and they play the Lakers in the last game, there's not going to be much left in the gas tank out there. That's a week away yet, 8 days away yet, so we'll find out then. But yeah, so far so good. They got a 2.5-game lead on the Knicks, and Cunningham, Cade. I think you could say he's a superstar in his own right now. As far as college basketball goes, Michigan, another 20-some point blowout yesterday against LaSalle. Michigan State, Saturday, beat Oakland. I still think when the two teams meet up on January 30th, Michigan will probably be 20-0, and State will be 20-1. A lot at stake in that game. Probably first place in the Big Ten. Who knows? I don't. That's a long way off yet, though. That's a month away. Okay, more than a month away. So about 6 weeks away yet. Anyhow, congratulations to Bear State Bulldogs on Saturday. Won their 4th Division II championship in the last 5 years. And I talked about this a couple of days ago, but I wanted to bring this up again. Last Thursday night, when the Rams lost to the Seahawks, and a possible incredible finish to that game, just like the game Saturday night between the Bears and the Packers. Okay, I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to get into what transpired, but because of what happened, special teams were awful for the Rams at the end of that game Thursday night. The Seahawks converted 3 2-point conversions. They had a punt return for a touchdown. Bottom line is, after the game, Sean McVay fired. Fellow's last name is Blackburn. I thought I had it written down here. Hang on just a second. The special teams coordinator is gone. Okay. There's the night. Yeah. Ben Kotwicka, I guess, is the new interim special teams coordinator for the Rams. By the way, they had a missed field goal too, but that wasn't on Blackburn. I really don't think you couldn't blame him for that. But special teams meltdown, and quite frankly, as far as the Lions go, I think they should also find themselves another special teams coordinator. Because Dave Phipp, to me, it's been a bad year for Jake Bates. A block punt or a block field goal often determine the outcome of a game. Lions haven't had that. They haven't had one all year. I can't think of having one the last several years. When was the last time the Lions special teams blocked a punt or a field goal attempt or an extra point? Never. Not while Dave Fipp was here. Next year they'll have a new offensive coordinator. I think they should have a new defensive coordinator as well, but that's, it looks like Todd Bowles is going to be all done in Tampa after this year. I'd love to see them bring him in as their new defensive coordinator. As far as the game yesterday goes, a stat I want to throw out at you. Lions defense stinks, folks. It just does. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't hear about injuries. The offensive line is a mess. Joe Gibbs, of the head coach of the Washington Redskins, we're going back 30 years ago when he had those great teams, offensive line called the Hogs. It was Joe Gibbs' credo or belief that the heart and soul of any football team is the offensive line. No truer words were ever spoken. Right now, the Lions, Penei Sewell, is he the best tackle in the league? I don't think so, not anymore. Lions had 15 yards rushing yesterday compared to about 280 for the Steelers. Steelers they're not that great, but they had almost 500 yards of offense yesterday. Really. Not going to blame the refs for what happened at the end of the game. Lions, we got to face facts here. Well, the Lions just aren't very good. Period. They're not. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge watching that game yesterday, football knowledge, to see that this is not a playoff team. This is not a playoff team. I think they still got a shot. Yeah, if Green Bay loses their next two, that's quite plausible now that Malik Willis is also hurt. I don't know to the extent of what injury. I don't see the Lions winning another game. Look at this team, folks. Look at them. Are they capable of winning these next two games? No. They stink. They're just not very good. Okay. I think the best case scenario for them would be to lose these last two games, get a higher draft pick in April. You're playing a last place schedule next year. That means you're playing teams like the Cardinals and the Giants and the Saints. The way the league is set up right now, the way the NFL is set up, you can do what the Bears did this year. You can go from last to first or vice versa in just 1 year, which is what happened this year in the NFC North. Lions finished on top last year, and the Bears finished on the bottom. It's going to be just the opposite this year. Tomorrow, by the way, we're doing a show tonight and tomorrow and one on Wednesday early. And because of the holidays, we'll do the same thing next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, these next 2 weeks only because of the holidays. Colton Pouncey, very good reporter who covers the Lions for The Athletic, had a scathing story about Brad Holmes last week. If we have the time, I'm going to get into that tomorrow night. Okay. If we have the time, I'll get into that tomorrow night. But boy, 15 yards rushing for that. And you can't blame Gibbs or Montgomery when they get the handoff. As soon as they do, they're being tackled. They have no room to run. Nothing. So those who guys at the ticket this morning still trying to come up with scenarios where they can make the playoffs. No, folks. Well, let's face it. This is not a playoff team. It's just not. Okay. And there's no other way. No other way you can spin this. None. I don't think the defense was this bad when Dan Campbell initially took over. And again, I don't want to hear about injuries. Everybody has injuries. It's a rough game. Everybody has injuries. Did they miss Sam Laporta? Yeah, but it's that. Look, this goes back to the beginning of training camp when Frank Ragnow announced his retirement. Okay. You might say that was the beginning of the end right there for this offensive line as we know it. So what do they do this offseason? It's not a complete rebuild. It's a reboot. Okay, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are going to have to pull the plug out for a few seconds, plug it back in again. The offensive line needs a hell of a lot of work. Defensively, they're going to need a linebacker to replace Alex Anzalone. Again, these huge contracts that they dished out. Elaine McNeil, he doesn't even show up on the stat sheet anymore. He's got his guaranteed money. Now, Hutchinson did have 2 sacks early yesterday. Okay. What's he got now? 9.5, I think. Boy. Aaron Rodgers' revenge yesterday, you might say. And again, the way the game ended, yeah, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Why don't you just give it to Montgomery and try running it in instead of the OPI's offensive pass interference, the first one on Tesla for setting an illegal pick. I don't know. I don't know about that one. And then, of course, the last play of the game, St. Brown extending his arms, shuffling at the Goff. Goff looked like they called it good. Okay, they said the touchdown counted, but it didn't count because of the penalty, and the game was over. And there was some confusion at the end of the game. I think the officials were actually talking to the folks in New York to see what they should do because they didn't even see certain or sure appear to be sure what had just transpired. A lot of confusion at the end of the game. So, Thursday, Christmas Day in Minnesota. I don't know who. J.J. McCarthy might be out again. He took a beating yesterday in New York. They barely beat the Giants 16-13 in an ugly game. Oh, not good. What we do have, we got the Red Wings, we got the Pistons, we got the Spartans, we got Wolverines basketball. Let me get one last thing here, too. Staff members at the University of Michigan. People behind the scenes of University of Michigan football, and the story came out today, too, that they knew Sharon Moore was having some serious mental issues. In the middle of staff meetings, he would break down, sobbing, unstable. His mental state was unstable. You had prominent donors approaching the board of trustees, the president, even the athletic director, telling him, this guy's got some real issues that you got to look into. They chose to ignore it for whatever reason. Anyway, I've talked enough. I'll talk to you all again tomorrow then, okay? Tomorrow and then early Wednesday, and we'll shut it down for Christmas. So until tomorrow, thanks for watching. Remember, please treat each other with respect. And I wish you all a very pleasant good evening. So long, everybody.